Welcome to the Zero Chaos Brief. I'm Scott Ives, and every Monday we are going to cover one leadership concept. Today I want to talk about something I think gets more leaders than burnout does. More than a bad strategy, more than anything external. And the reason it's so dangerous is because it feels like the right thing to do while it's happening. It is the moment you as a leader choose being liked over being respected. And I can promise you that when you start to make that trade, you're actually going to lose both. Now, I'll start with a personal story because I think this is going to be kind of the best way to explain this concept. Now, I had someone on my team, generally a top performer, really good. And then his performance started to drop. Now, here's the thing. I liked him. I knew what he was capable of. I'd seen it. So when things started to slip, I told myself, he'll turn it around. I know who this guy is. So I gave him time. And I did corrective action. I won't say that I didn't. I sat down, we had the conversations, I wrote it up, but I didn't do it at the frequency that the situation had required. Because every time I was about to push harder, I'd pull back. Because again, I liked him. I believed in him. So a week became a month became 6 became a year. A whole year. Yes. I finally made the call. We sat down, had a conversation, and he understood. He wasn't surprised by it at all. And then he said something that honestly just stopped me. He asked why it took so long. Not angry or upset. He was just genuinely asking because he knew. He knew that I liked him. He knew the standard had been soft, and he'd been taking advantage of it. Not maliciously, but he knew there wasn't any real consequences, so he just kept on doing what he was doing. Now, my emotions created that window. My belief in who he was, not who he was showing up as. That's what kept that door open for a year. And when I look back at that year, I don't see compassion. I see the people on my team that I could have invested in. The time I spent managing around the problem instead of solving it. The message I sent to everybody who was holding the standard while watching someone who doesn't and seeing me do nothing about it. So the kindest thing I could have done for him, and honestly for everyone, was hold the standard consistently from the beginning. Remember to follow a new brief every Monday on Spotify and YouTube. Now, what I just described, that's one version of this problem. And that's the emotional investment in a specific person. But there's another version that's even more common. And that's the leader who wants to be liked by everyone. They want their team to see them as a friend. They keep things loose. They avoid conflict. When something needs to be addressed, they soften it. So much that it doesn't actually land. And when the same thing happens again, they soften it again. I get it. I really do. When you care about your people that you lead, which you should, there's a pull towards protecting those relationships. You want the people to enjoy coming to work. You want them to enjoy working with you. But here's the problem with that. Your team watches everything you do. And the moment they see a situation where the standard should have been held and it wasn't, they read that signal immediately. Some of them might start pulling back. You know, why work harder than someone who's not being held at the same level? Some of them will start testing you, right? Pushing that line, finding out where it is. Some of them who are probably already looking for new places, they may leave. Trust isn't built by being agreeable with everybody. It's built by being consistent. So when your team knows exactly what you expect and knows you're going to hold it no matter how uncomfortable it is, they're going to trust you. They may not always love that conversation, but they trust in the person having it. Now, when they don't know where that line is because you keep on moving it, they stop trusting your judgment. Once it's gone, that relationship you were trying to protect goes with it as well. Because nobody wants to be a leader who doesn't lead. They're not going to respect it. They may like them. They may enjoy the looseness and flexibility and the fact there's no one pushing them. But the moment something matters, a real problem, a real decision, or a real moment that requires leadership, they don't go to that person. They go around them. You don't end up liked or respected. You get taken advantage of and they call you a friend to your face while they do it. Share this one, new brief every Monday. The more people who find it, the better. Now, I want to be clear on something because I don't want this to sound like I'm saying don't care about the people. that you work for or work with. Care deeply about the people. That's the whole point of this. But genuine relationships on your teams are built on trust and respect, not the absence of those hard conversations. When that foundation is there, you can tell someone something they don't want to hear and they'll receive it. Not because it stings, but because they know that you're coming from a place of investment in them. They know you're not attacking them. They know you hold the same standard for everybody, including yourself. And when that trust is there, they don't just comply, they own it. There's a difference between something or someone doing something because they're afraid of what happens if they don't, and someone doing it because they want to do right by the leader who's always shown up for them. That is the difference between compliance and ownership. And ownership is the only thing that's actually going to scale. So chasing light gets you the other version. People do just enough. They manage you. They tell you what you want to hear. And when you're not watching, that standard disappears. And here's what makes this harder to ignore. Research shows that 46% of employees say that they want more performance feedback, not less, more. Your team is not asking to be let off the hook. They're asking to be developed. They want somebody who cares enough to tell them the truth. A leader who withholds honest feedback in the name of keeping the peace isn't being kind. They're failing the people they're supposed to be leading. I want to talk about the people who aren't the problem. Because when you're carrying someone, when you're under applying that accountability because you like them, the cost isn't just to the person's development, the cost is to everyone else. The people who are holding that standard, showing up, doing the work, and watching someone who isn't face no real consequences for it. Those people are paying attention. And what they're learning is that the standard is optional. Effort and accountability don't actually matter. You can coast if you play it right. Some of them are going to leave, your best ones. The ones with options, they go find a leader who leads. Some of them stay there, they adjust their own behavior downward because why hold a standard if it's not the same for everyone? The hard conversation at month 1 is the investment in that person. The same conversation at month 12 is damage control for everyone. So I want to ask you something direct. Is there someone on your team right now whose performance you've been excusing, not ignoring, not pretending you don't see it, but you're applying accountability at half of the frequency that it actually requires because you like them, because you believe in them and who they can be and what they can do, not who they're showing up as? That's where the work starts, not with them, with you. The question isn't whether you like them. The question is whether you respect them enough to tell them the truth at the frequency the situation requires. Because the version of kindness that protects your comfort at their expense, that's not kindness, that's avoidance. And your team, including that person you're trying to protect, they know the difference. If you've got something from this, subscribe on YouTube and follow on Spotify. There's a new brief every Monday. Drop a comment. Have you ever held on too long because you liked someone, and what did it cost you? You don't eliminate chaos, you learn to lead through it. That's the brief.